From under the hood.
I think of the engine bay as like a jewelry box.
To the top of the car.
It's phenomenal.
Builders are cutting classics in pursuit of excellence.
The whole body will just lift straight off.
Will it be enough to win the Barrett-Jackson Cup?
We know exactly what we have to build.
This is the path to performance, presented by Castrol Edge.
My name's Andy Leach, owner of Automotive Creations in Bennington, Nebraska. I met Ross and Beth Myers creeping up on 20 years ago, and when Ross called about this Thunderbird for Beth, it was like, yeah. He wasn't even done with the sentence, and I'm like, yeah, you know, ship it out here. So we're taking Beth's 56 Thunderbird to the Barrett-Jackson Cup in January. The main thing they wanted was a brushed stainless roof. I told Ross right away, I don't know how to shape stainless, I don't know anybody that could. So we settled on making a steel roof and then had advanced plating, nickel plate it and brush finish it. So we ship it down to Advanced, and they have it for, geez, it was like another 3-4 months that they had it. So we were really excited to get it back. It's Christmas morning. They couldn't find a bigger crate? Yeah. Eric Hansen built the steel roof completely from scratch, and just unbelievable task in the amount of time. Ready to see your masterpiece?
Yeah, hopefully it's all in one piece.
I don't think I ever questioned what it was going to look like. That's good, Rick. But you always have this thought in your head. Dump her down. What if, you know? Here we go. You grab a screw gun. So you're kind of nervous. All right, open her up.
I'm Tyler Nelson, owner of Revision Rods and Rides in Rapid City, South Dakota. We were building the 1969 Plymouth Road Runner for the Barrett-Jackson Cup. We start the design process with Eric Brockmeyer from Brockmeyer Design. Then we show them to the owners, Daryl and Faye. Then we know exactly what we have to build. And probably the toughest process on these cars for every customer is the color that they want. And we knew it's going to be green. We knew it's going to have a couple different colors of brown, and it's going to have an orange stripe. All right, Daryl. Yeah. Ready to look at some colors? Yeah. Well, when you start looking at colors, there's a lot of different greens, there's a lot of different browns, and there's a lot of different oranges. So we'll probably look at greens first, since that's the main body color. So when you're looking at them, make sure you're kind of looking at all the metallic layouts. Some are going to be heavier metallic, some will have pearls in them.
The body color, the green itself, is the toughest for me.
We'll X-nay that one. Yeah. That when we were shining that little flashlight, that's actually a true sunlight gun, so we can look at the colors inside and see what they look like in the true sunlight. There we go. No?
No, I don't think so. When you put a color on a car, your personality comes through, you're locked into that.
So I guess pick a couple of them, and then we'll do more spray outs with all three of the colors. You not only have to worry about the paint colors, but you have to tie that in with the interior colors. Like on this one, there's gonna be 7 different colors we gotta look at, and they all have to work together to make the whole finished thing look correctly, because let's face it, if you have the wrong color interior or the wrong color on the outside, it ruins a build. And you know, with Barrett-Jackson Cup coming up, it's definitely gonna be, in the next few months, we have to know all that stuff so we can get ready to start painting this car.
You know, this is tougher than making a decision to build things.
Yeah, it always is.
That's the choice I made.
I think the bottom one.
Too much.
Too much, yeah?
Isn't it?
Yeah. Well, once that's it. We're gonna have to start making some major decisions. In the next few months, it's gonna get body worked, it's gonna get painted, reassembled, wired.
I like this one a lot better.
You're down to that color.
Is that a good deal or a bad deal?
Never trust a guy with neck tattoos.
So when you start minusing that off the time from now till when this car has to be completed, it doesn't leave you with a whole lot of time.
You want to see a larger spray out with this and these colors all together? Now's the time. If we're doing 1 to do 2 isn't that much
Go
work.
ahead and do both.
Like I have to say.
Your name's on a lot of the checks, Dave. You can have all of us say, Gerald may think he does. I'm with you.
We're all loose.
Good.
Got it?
Just over here by the Jeep.
Oh man, bubble wrap for days. It's in there pretty good. I'm gonna grab another razor blade. You can probably just lift it out of there.
Not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. No. I really wish we would have waited before and after.
Boy, it is pretty light. Well, probably because Rick's got it.
He's carrying the whole thing.
All right, well, You got that razor blade still? Maybe we should just cut around the perimeter and roll it back. I think if we lift it up, we can get all this out of there.
Oh, they
got wood in here.
They got some structure, yeah.
Yeah. So when we got the roof and we uncrated it for the first time, holy moly, it's advanced plating. They say they're the world's finest chrome, and it literally is. You know, it was like Christmas morning. When Ross first said he wanted a brushed stainless roof, everybody kind of like what Eric just did, his eyeballs. So we talked him into making a steel roof. Holy moly. And then having it nickel plated with brush finish, so. Look at that baby.
Sweet.
Did you almost forget how much work it was?
Yeah, a little bit. I think we were talking about probably 5 months of total fab. And there's a lot of it, like the inner structure, that was just as challenging as making the skin. And then getting all the perimeter trim to fit around the whole thing, the window trim to fit, the window to fit.
It's phenomenal. Let's set it on the car.
My name's Tony Army, owner of American Legends, Phoenix, Arizona, and we're bringing a 1966 Chevelle to the Barrett-Jackson Cup. So on this car, the engine itself was probably one of the biggest challenges. I like to try to think of the engine bay as like a jewelry box. I want the engine to be the ring, so I don't want to attract attention to places it doesn't need to be. This turbo system is very elaborate and there's a lot going on. So there's a lot of engine. On a newer engine, when you look under the hood and there's just plastic and junk and emission stuff everywhere, all that stuff either goes in the garbage or is hidden in places you would never know to even look. I want it to look like it doesn't run, but obviously, and this one ought to run pretty good. With the turbos, there's a whole nother element that you have to deal with, which is heat. So we CAD designed and engineered new vents, sent them out and had them 3D printed. These will eventually be finished in a matte silver that matches the bumpers and the grille components. But these now are actually functional. They'll bleed the hot air from out of the engine, creating a vacuum effect over the top and help pull some of the hot air out of the engine bay now that we're going to be producing a lot more heat in here. The goal is to make it look like one person did it. You know, I don't want it to look like one guy did the engine bay, one guy did the interior, somebody else painted it. You know, it needs to look like one brain put it together. What's in there originally is kind of just a cheap aluminum stamped piece, and it didn't really fit the theme of the car. So we made a whole new grille up here. It's all cut out of 3/16 plate aluminum, and all the edges have been chamfered, and then they've all been stacked back 3/8 of an inch as you go up to kind of fan them backwards. Making stuff work together needs some labor and help and a lot of brain damage along the way to get there. Probably would hurt if you got hit by it. It's very stout. There's a lot of brain damage.
Man, look at that. Look at the light lines on that thing. There it is, finally. I don't think anything like this has ever been attempted. This roof is definitely the crown on top of this car. You know, we test fitted, I don't know, 100 times in bare metal, and here we got the finished product here, and we're gonna go set it on here. So you guys are gonna capture our faces here in a minute when we, I can't wait to see it on the car. Here we go. Have a look. Holy moly.
Hey, it looks like it fits on there pretty good.
Look at that thing. We got it out, set it on the car then, and it's just like, it's freaking perfect. It's crazy, but it makes it look like it's going forward, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas like the factory one's real flat.
Yeah.
But this one's kind of got that.
Yeah, I totally meant to do it that way.
That's pretty badass. Who has a 56 Thunderbird with a brushed nickel roof on it? Really sets the tone for the car and gives it attitude, and it's just a very elegant car. Every now and then a plan comes together. Castrol Edge is our only go-to for oil. With this big Roush motor, we use Castrol Edge for all the performance and longevity. These are some pretty expensive power plants, and you only want the best. Why would you shortcut? So Castrol's the only one we go to.
I'm Isaac Gonzales.
And I'm Donnie Hall.
And we are the owners of Streamline Custom Designs in Tooele, Utah.
We are bringing two cars, a 1966 Corvette C2 Custom Convertible Roadster and a 1953 Chevy 3100 pickup to the Barrett-Jackson Cup. We're getting ready to pull the Corvette's body off of the chassis. We're gonna put it on the rotisserie so that we can be able to rotate it and paint instead of having to reach up and over. There's body bolts here But the whole body will just lift straight up and off. With these Corvettes, it's fiberglass. They can easily crack. When you lift these Corvettes, you gotta lift them by the rockers. And we came up with this hunky piece here. So that just drops in here. And then we'll end up attaching it here because this is a metal structure. The only structure that Corvette has that's metal. It's the windshield frame, comes down the A-pillars, across the rockers, and up the back of the doors. That's where we'll just lift the body straight up off the chassis. If something cracks on that could put us back a week.
You know, time's a big thing in our lives, so you need to make sure that you're managing it consistently because it's the one thing we don't get back.
It's not smart to be dumb, dumb, dumb. We just gotta stay in front of that notch. And then on the front fender, there's actually a brace. It's the inner fender. We gotta be behind it as well, or else we're gonna catch that and do all kinds of damage. So let's not pay attention to all the details, but we'll just go slow. So we're gonna go up a little bit. Let me know when I'm close to the frame. We need to come to your guys' side a little bit. Yeah, let's go forward just a little bit. It's gotta, the ass end's gotta go that way. One more bump. Okay, I'm there, you're there. A little more. Okay, stop right there. Let's push this. Okay, we're up. Okay, go ahead. Sweet. All right. Slow down. The rear mounts take threaded bolts. Clear? So we run bolts up through and we set the body down on that rotisserie and we weld those bolts in place. It's gonna be super tight on these quarters. Yeah, let's go down a little. Hold on. No? Go up. All right, we're gonna have to do some grinding. These quarter panels are slightly different than the quarters that were on the car originally. So now we just gotta do some slight modifications. All right, go ahead. Okay. Now the body, when we turn it, it's gonna be secured down on that rotisserie. When we go to paint, instead of leaning over the car, now we can paint like this. Break. Thanks. That's it. And we're almost ready for paint.